This thing on? Okay, so here's the situation. As of yesterday, I have officially become a doctor. I mean, I technically became one when they handed me the fancy papers and shook my hand, but yesterday I became a psychiatrist in the eyes of the Lord. Or at least a doctor in the eyes of the Lord, as I began my medical internship at Vega City Hospital, and after 18 hours, I am home, I am sweaty, and I'm talking to myself. Why am I talking to myself? Because my sweet, angelic mother bought me a tape recorder. For work, she said. You see, my mother saw a doctor on TV use one and assumed all doctors use them, especially psychiatrists, she said. My sweet, perfect mother probably thought this would give me an air of sophistication, making me appear as though I'm a well-to-do doctor who comes prepared to work and has the tools and intelligence needed to make it through the door. Of course, when I started my first rounds, about the only thing I managed to say correctly was, "It's pronounced Jung," to nearly every doctor who read my name off their list and left a slew of Jung, Jung, Jahung, and I don't even know how they landed on that last one. And when they hear my name said aloud, they proceed to call me Jung, which I have to remind them is also incorrect. It's Jung, J-U-N-G. Only doctor who got it right was Dr. Ingold, probably because she's the resident psychiatrist. And then, of course, when the overseeing Dr. Michaels asked me what was wrong with the patient, I froze, and he proceeded to joke to the rest of the interns, cut her some slack. She's the psychiatry major. Ugh, and then this guy, Isaac or Isaiah, I can't remember, he proceeded to take the question off my hands and thought I'd be so grateful to him for answering it for me. Oh, but the exchange only got worse when I caught the same guy having a panic attack in the break room, where I proceeded to calm him down with the usual BS, reminding him that it's okay to be overwhelmed as you cross a threshold in your life, and he said, "I'm so lucky to have a shrink for a friend." So, I have a friend, I guess, who won't stop following me around and treating me like his therapist as he keeps asking me for my opinion on all his life problems and his relationship with his mother, and oh my gosh. And suddenly the nurses are assuming we're frolicking into becoming the next intern couple. Whatever, I don't care. He seems to enjoy the attention, but I, for one, already have enough attention. In the new round of interns at Vega City Hospital, there are only a handful of women, and I am the only psychiatrist amongst them. So of course they cozied up to one another while I was left eating lunch with... what's his name? Yes, I am a psychiatrist, but I did go to medical school, much to my chagrin, as it was a grueling experience just to get to the point where I can waste away in another hospital not practicing psychiatry. Of course, I'm not so unlucky in a place like Vega City. For every case of chickenpox, you get a superhero flying in, dropping off a goon that they broke the femur of. So I grew up in Sparrow, Indiana, a little town, a part of a large no-hero zone in the Midwest. That means that no supervillains bother to attack the area, so no superheroes are stationed in the region. Of course, I wanted to study psychology and decided to go to Vega University, which was in New Jersey, so my mother was a wreck during the entire college visit. I mean, it gave my mom some comfort to think, oh, at least it's not Empire City. They have to evacuate every other day because of some world-ending event. In college, it was actually a weird turning point for Vega City because there was a sort of battle of the brands. A bunch of superheroes were coming out and competing over who gets to be the hero of Vega City. That's where you get people like Jersey Devil and my favorite Aurora Light. I actually got to meet one of them, Silver Bullet. He was dropping off some super criminal, and I stared at him, shell-shocked at the sight of a superhero in a full-body silver suit. He was just so built and so stoic as he stood there with his arms crossed, telling the nurses where he'd hit the guy so they could check all those places. Silver Bullet is fascinating in a medical sense. So he's called the Silver Bullet because he can travel at the speed of a bullet, roughly 1,500 feet per second, which is about 1,000 miles per hour. But he can only travel in one direction and stops as soon as he hits something at the very velocity he was traveling at. A head-on attack from him would not only kill a man, but cause his body to shatter and shoot out in multiple directions. And you would think it would kill Silver Bullet too, but somehow, that despite launching himself into buildings and bridges and the ground itself, the man is physically unharmed by the impact. The city, on the other hand, is left with hundreds of silver bullet launch sites where his feet leave a little dent in the ground wherever he pushes off into the great unknown. Turns out my feet are actually about the same size as his. In his defense, I have very large feet, but still. I found him a fascinating case, as he's actually a third-generation hero, and thus the third silver bullet, which means there is a generational expectation for him to become a superhero, meaning that did he ever actually have a choice in the matter of becoming a hero, especially with the biological powers passed down to him? What kind of psychological damage does an invulnerable man face when the expectation of hero is thrust upon him in his youth? However, the silver bullet name is notorious for having been restricted in its racial representation, as the first two silver bullets used their suits to conceal the fact that they were black, which was revealed by the third generation silver bullet, the current one, who modified his suit to show the silver bullet was black and always has been, which was revolutionary, and how differently he was judged by the public and the media. And oh, my tea's ready. Man, I'm thirsty. Throat hurts for some reason. Whew, too hot. I'll let it cool off. Anyway, what was I talking about? Silver bullet. He had a knife sticking out of his thigh when I met him, and I asked him, "Sir, would you like us to treat that?" And he just looked down, went, "Oh," and proceeded to yank the knife from his thigh, put it in a little bag, and said, "Give this to the cops." I guess I should be getting used to dealing with superheroes. Not because I want to study them psychologically. No, what I went to school for was to study supercriminals, not superheroes. Which, again, my mother was very adamantly against as well. I don't think there was any life choice my mother was actually okay with. My dream is to work for the American Syndicate of Heroes and work towards rehabilitating supervillains and discovering preventative measures to prevent the escalation of villainy in our culture. Because often the presence of superheroes creates a vacuum for supervillains who feel they have to fight the threat of unmeasured strength and the unknown. Of course, right now, I'm working at a dingy teaching hospital getting thrown up on by flu patients and struggling to put the IV in a squirming child. Anyway, not where I pictured myself, but I'm still glad I'm here. Like I said, the day wasn't all bad. Sometimes the patients are nice. I had a nice long chat with the patient, Mr. Collinger. Oh, he was a retired music teacher, actually. He was sweet, real neat guy. Coming in with a complaint about a headache that just wouldn't go away. I liked him a lot, and he told me about his favorite musician, a man named Evan Giles from right here in Vega City. His roommate, who was handcuffed to his bed, heard the conversation, and of course, when I was humming this old tune, the old song called Together at Last, it's a duet, and this man, handcuffed to his bed, I'd like to reiterate, started to sing the other part. It was, well, Mr. Collinger was laughing like crazy the whole time, and I was trying to remain professional, but it was quite difficult. It was funny. I think it was the guy Silver Bullet brought in. Anyway, though I was left with this earworm in my head all day, which I won't dare complain about. I mean, I guess it wasn't such a bad day. I'm in shock I'm even here. You know, I've been working towards this for so long, working in school to eventually reach this goal, but now I'm not training for something anymore. I'm doing it. I'm Dr. Virginia Jung. It seems so odd. Just 6 months more of this, and then my next residency, and after that, I don't know what. The future is truly a terrifying mist that waits for you just out of sight. You think about it all the time, but when you actually land somewhere close to those ideas in your head, you find yourself frozen in terror, wishing to go back into the comfort of your old life, one without all these expectations, where you were just blissfully preparing for the real thing that would one day come. And then I look at a patient like Mr. Collinger, who's at the end of his career. He did it. He did exactly what he wanted to do, and now he's done. He speaks about it in the past tense. What a strange place to be, where everything is past tense. Oh, I forgot I made tea. How do I turn this thing on? I can get them myself. Yeah, bye. Oh, sweet Caroline, can't he take a hint? Okay, how do I turn this thing on again? Patient. Okay. Wait, does the tape rotate when it's recording or... Oh my gosh. Jung, you spent 2 minutes talking to yourself. Great. I'm just still doing it. Jeez, I finally used this thing for real medicine, and I'm incapable of using it correctly, and I'm still talking to myself. At least no. Hi, Dr. Ingold. I'm just taking notes. Bye. See you at rounds. Oh, no. I'm at the hospital, hiding in the stairway because Isaac won't leave me alone. I'm on week 2, and it's only gotten more vexing. During rounds, he has every disease, organ, and bone name in his back pocket, but I've come to realize in the short time I've known that man, that's it. That's all he knows.
Patient demonstrates a lack of boundaries and severe attachment issues, primarily with female peers or authority figures, perhaps a diagnosis of mommy issues.
At least I'm getting to practice psychology. I'm certainly still struggling to stick out in rounds. I know the human body. I can name every bone in the human foot, from the tarsals, the metatarsals, the phalanges, the cuneiforms, the talus, and I'm sure that information will remain very relevant in my career in psychiatry. However, I feel as though all my training is short-sighted by the everyday reality that I don't have time to do any of the things they taught us. I want to really meditate on my patients, and sometimes that means spending time with them and really talking, but whatever I do that, I'm pulled aside by the attending doctor and told I'm not their shrink, not their social worker, I'm their doctor.
I think what's frustrating me is this case with Mr. Collinger. I was worried he had a tumor, but all the tests came back clear.
I've given him an MRI, a CAT scan, and still he's in pain, and it just seems to be getting worse. I mean, is the machine not picking up on something? Could it be psychological? Maybe I could ask Dr. Ingold to speak with him. She's the attending psychiatrist, and she's just incredible. She used to work for the American Syndicate of Heroes and worked with high-level supercriminals, just like I hoped to, and now she's here in a chaotic little teaching hospital in Vega City, and she's so incredible that I catch myself wondering what horrible thing happened to her to get her here. I mean, I hope I don't sound dramatic, though. I know I do. I just imagine that for a doctor who was in the forefront of supercriminal psychology to suddenly quit makes me kind of, I don't know. Maybe she just wanted to stay in one place for once. I'd like to pick her brain, but I don't feel like I've left a strong enough impression on her yet. She's still glancing down at her clipboard every time I answer a question to remember my name, and I mean, I don't know why she can't remember it. It's Jung. A psychiatrist ought to remember the name easily.
But apparently not, and I just hope she realizes... Oh, shoot. Crap.
See? Hello. I can record things for later. Things like, I mean, I don't know yet. Usually I just write things down on the chart. Do you want to say something?
Hello.
Well, you can say other things. Oh, shoot, that's my patient. Mr. Collinger? So I got sent home early today because my patient, he attacked me, Mr. Collinger. He came in because of these headaches, and I didn't think he'd have a psychological break, and it was like he was a different person, and gosh, and after that, Dr. Ingold, she finally knows who I am, and she called me bleeding heart. She pointed at me and warned the other interns that if you're a bleeding heart like me, and then things like this are gonna happen, and maybe you should find a different job. I'm planning to work in criminal psychology, super criminals, and I let my guard down with some regular guy and almost got myself. And God is right. Oh gosh, what if I'm not cut out for this. What if I just spent the last 8 years of my life preparing for a profession I'm not good enough for? I just hate myself so much right now. Oh gosh, I know what I need to be. I know what I need to do and how to do it. I just can't be that. It's just really hard.
Okay. All right. Okay, Jenny, can you hear me? So, Jenny, I'm gonna need you to take a breath. You're safe and you made it out okay.
Why is this playing my
Don't.
old recordings? How is it playing while I'm recording? What's wrong with this thing?
Okay, Jenny, I know you want to rationalize this, but I'm not an old recording.
That's my voice. I don't remember recording this.
That's because I didn't. That's.
Did you just respond to me?
Yes, I can hear you. Well, sort of. It's complicated.
Oh
So.
my gosh.
Oh dear. I forgot you started freaking out.
What is happening?
Okay.
What are you?
So can you do me a favor? Can you stop the recording? Until you're ready to talk. Okay, Jenny,
How?
the tape. Can you stop it? Can you stop the tape? Okay, stop the tape. Stop the tape. Stop the tape.
Okay. I'm calm. I'm okay.
I don't think I described you as okay in this instance. I mean, what did you do while the tape was off?
I did laps around my apartment until I collapsed onto the floor. It's been about 40 minutes since I turned you off. Turned it off. What? I don't know what.
Yeah, right. Whatever you need to do to cope, I'm here to help, so, you know.
Okay, are you from the future, or are you an alternate version of myself, or an analog ghost? Did you possess the tape, or did you possess the tape recorder?
Okay.
Does my mom know you're on here? Is that why she gave this to me?
Okay. I'm not here, however, to answer questions about how the tape works. Ugh, fine. Okay, 3 questions will be accepted. Think carefully.
Okay, 3 questions. Is this conversation live? Like, are you out there in the world talking to me through this tape?
No, this is a recording. I just know what you're going to say and respond as such.
So you know the future.
Well, I know what's going to be said on the tape, and, well, that's all I'll say. And that's your second question, by the way. One more.
Okay. Why?
Why am I here?
Yes.
Well, because you need someone to talk to, and you need a little help right now. Okay, so let's start with today. It was a really hard day, so tell me about it.
If you're me, don't you remember it?
Maybe, but refresh me.
Okay, well, I got called a bleeding heart. Oh, jeez. And I got attacked by the patients.
Yeah. Notice how you started with your boss's comment? Why does that strike you more than the assault?
It wasn't an assault. He just had his hands on my neck for a short minute, and I don't blame him, and I'm not pressing charges. No way. He wasn't in control of what happened. That wasn't him.
Yeah, and patients are patients, and the relationship is very different from the one with your supervisor.
Yeah, it is.
So maybe because the relationship is one you've been trying to change lately, if I recall.
Yes. I've been trying to get her to notice me for ages, and now she finally does. And it's just... I'm sorry. I'm just having a hard time believing that I'm having a therapy session with myself.
I'm sorry. Do you want to take a break? This would be overwhelming for anyone, conceptually at least.
Come on. Last week I treated a guy who can grow a second set of eyes. In the world we live in, this is bound to happen at some point. I think I can't believe that I become that. I'm such a screw up. I mean, how do I reach a point where I'm actually practicing psychiatry, or do I give it up and just become like a private practice counselor?
Jenny, We can't be doing this if we don't live in the present. So we spend all our lives worrying about the past and the future, but we need to be right here, right now, okay? So take a breath, draw your focus back to today. What happened with Dr. Ingold?
Okay. She called me a bleeding heart. In front of everyone. I mean, it was so devastating. And I feel so defeated by it. And it just makes me think she's right. That if I weren't such a bleeding heart, if I weren't so emotional, I wouldn't be crying about my boss saying something to me after work like some...
Like what?
I don't know how I'm gonna function in this job if I can't toughen up.
That's it? That's what you're scared of? Not the words of your boss, not the fingers of your patient around your neck. You're scared that you're not good enough to do what you want to do.
But you know, so... Tell me. What happens? Do I make it? Do I stay?
Okay, Ginny. This isn't going to work if you keep asking those questions. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to help you understand your fears, to talk them out and show you that your emotions are coming from a rational place. What's happening to you now is a shame spiral. After, let's be clear, a brutal attack. You went into survival mode, and while you were in that state, you faced harsh criticism from someone you've admired and looked up to. All the while, you were questioning not just if you'd make it as a psychiatrist, but today at some point you were wondering if you'd make it out of this alive. And that started the spiral. So you were ashamed, you were attacked, you were ashamed, you were criticized, and then you were ashamed, you were emotional in response to these traumatic events. So tell me now, do you still think you are rational in your emotions?
I just don't know.
You're still trapped in that shame. It's causing you to doubt the validity of your response to a traumatic event.
It's just... What bothers me more is the thing she said. That's so weird, isn't it? I can get over a guy strangling me, but not Dr. Ingold calling me a bleeding heart. That's weird. That's unusual. That's
Okay.
not how normal people emote.
No, shh. Jenny, you're spiraling. Take a breath.
Okay.
Just breathe.
I don't know.
It's okay. It's okay. Okay. We're going to take a moment to pick apart why it meant so much. Bleeding heart, what does it mean to you?
Someone who's too emotional,
Okay.
too invested in the emotions of their job.
Okay, so this was in response to you jumping in to try and help your patient.
I thought because we connected, he wouldn't attack me.
Did you think he might attack someone else?
Well, yeah, he was ripping out his IV. He was screaming and cursing at the nurses, and I wanted to make sure they didn't get hurt.
Okay, so you put yourself in danger for your coworkers. That's what it sounds like.
Dr. Ingold said don't be a hero.
Yeah, and maybe that's right. To keep yourself safe, you have to be wise. But sometimes we do need heroes.
So I did the right thing.
I'm not saying there was a right thing to do. There was only reactions. And tell me, would you do it again?
Would I put myself in danger like that?
No. Would you try and help a patient in distress, even if it puts yourself in danger again?
Yes. I would.
And that's what's gonna help you survive this, Jenny. Okay, so that's our time for today. So hit the showers, go to bed, be ready for tomorrow because you are going back to work and you're going to make it clear that one incident is not going to stop you from doing your job, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
You're right.
Yes?
Okay, will you be here? Will you be here if I need you again?
Yeah, I will, but we've only got so much tape, so let's end it here.
Okay.
Alright, so I'll see you soon, Jenny, and remember, you can survive this.
I can survive this. Alright, okay. Thanks. Oh, geez, what do I call you?
Dr. Jung. Of course.
Dr. Jung.
See you next time.